All right, let's bring in Dylan. She's tracking all the heat in for Al this morning. How are we looking out west?
Well, it is extremely hot out west. We have heat alerts in effect mostly across Washington through Oregon, parts of California, too. 13 million people under heat advisories or heat warnings. And we also have that fire risk. So those red flag warnings are in effect through Washington, through Oregon, and parts of Northern California, too. Winds could gust up to 50 miles per hour. The air is very dry. The temperatures are warm. Those are the ingredients that help spread these fires. And currently, we have about 50 large fires burning out west. The one in Napa is about 11,000 acres. It's also only about 11% contained. So we are going to continue to see the impacts of that. And then the air quality that is poor because of those fires, too. Spokane, Eugene, Oregon, they're looking at high temperatures today, about 15 degrees above average. But here's the cool air. This is where it feels like a touch of fall. Minneapolis, only 69 degrees for a high today. That's 11 degrees below average. Green Bay gets up to 71 tomorrow. Buffalo 69. That's 9 degrees below average. Charleston, West Virginia 75 degrees. And these cooler temperatures will last for a day or two before we're right back into the 80s. So things look much better in the Northeast, but out west and down through the extreme south is where we're seeing our hottest temperatures, Craig.
All right, Dylan, we'll come back to you in just a few moments. Meanwhile, Dylan Dreyer, the pride of Jersey.
Clearly, you've never been to the Jersey Shore.
I just don't know if I need 140 houses there.
You got to give it a chance. We've got the August heat out in the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures running about 15 degrees above average. Beautiful day across the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, the northern plains, highs in the 70s, feeling like fall. We do have a flood risk with some storms down through the southern plains. That's a look at the weather across the country. We'll get to your local forecast in the next 30 seconds. And that's your latest forecast.
All right, Dylan, thank you. Still ahead here. What's next for the Menendez brothers?
This is today on NBC. For all those passengers and drivers.
Well, fortunately, we're not seeing a lot of bad weather in the major hubs, but we do still have some severe weather to keep an eye out for. Look at what is approaching Oklahoma City. Lots of heavy rain, lots of lightning. Also up into Kansas, we're seeing some of that heavier rain, too, south of Salina here. We have monsoonal moisture in the southwest. Keep in mind, the ground is dry. You turn on these heavier downpours like a faucet on a dry sponge, and it just doesn't absorb quick enough. So because of that, it could lead to some brief flash flooding if you get stuck in some of these heavier downpours like we're seeing across southwestern Arizona here. This frontal system will continue to bring those showers and storms around. The monsoonal moisture will continue to dot the area with heavier downpours throughout the day today. And we are going to see that last through tomorrow, too, with some of the heavy rain continuing to cause some isolated flash flooding. We are looking for rainfall amounts of about 2 to 3 inches. And if there are any burn scar areas that do end up with this heavier rain, that could lead to more flash flooding as well, because, again, the ground is so dry and you don't have a lot of the grasses and the trees to absorb that moisture. That flood risk continues down across the southern plains. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Feeling like fall, though. Temperatures in the 60s and low 70s across the Midwest. That's a look at the weather across the country. Now here's a peek out your window. And that's your latest forecast.
All right, ready for the second best part
ready
of the morning?
for it?
Can't wait.
Second best.
You guys excited?
PSSP.
Contain your
Apartment, perfect time to check in with Dylan. In for Al. What can we expect today?
Well, out west, we still have the extreme heat. And when you have the heat, and then no humidity, those dry conditions, the gusty winds, it leads to the fire danger, too. So it's mostly across Washington, Oregon, Northern California, also parts of Southern California, too, where we're seeing the extreme heat. But the red flag warnings are posted in Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. Winds gusting up to about 50 miles per hour, and the air is very dry and very hot. We have about 50 large wildfires out west, and including the one in Napa Valley, that's about 7,000 acres in size. It's only 11% contained at this point. So that is one of the larger fires that we're seeing. The temps out west will be in the mid to upper 90s. That's about 15 degrees above average. But on the other side of that, we're looking at temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees below average. Oklahoma City, a high of only 74 today. So that fall-like air is starting to spread eastward. Green Bay, 71 tomorrow. Buffalo, only in the 60s. Memphis, about 79, which is still below average. But we'll get back up into the mid-70s, even some 80s as we get closer to the weekend. But for right now, it's the extreme heat and the fire danger out west. That's the big story.
Thank you, Dylan.
All right, Dylan, now to some frightening.
You heard the Parks and Rec crew. Treat yourself. More than a decade later, the little treat culture, it's really become a huge trend on social media.
They were ahead of their time. It's all about those smaller purchases that can add joy and boost your mood. Instead of throwing all of your time and energy into saving up for bigger ticket items, and while the habit has really taken off, it does come with some risks.
Yes, here to break it all down, NBC's senior business correspondent, Christine Romans. Treat yourself.
Craig already was eating the treats.
I was treating myself.
He was.
He never misses a treat.
No. But first of all, I mean, the treatonomics trend, what exactly is it? How are we characterizing it?
It stems from something called the lipstick effect, which is economists notice that during bad times in the economy, lipstick sales would boom. It's a small little thing that you buy that makes you feel better, gives you that burst of happy hormones, but it doesn't break the bank. Maybe you're not saving for a down payment on a house, or maybe you can't afford a big luxury item, so you get something small like a candle or a bunch of candy or a designer drink. Tomorrow, the pumpkin spice latte comes back at Starbucks. Maybe you give yourself a little treat to pick you up instead of spending a lot of money on something else. 92% of people say they expect to treat themselves, according to a consumer tracker Kantar, and 49% say it's really important for your joy, for your mood, for your lifestyle to be able to spend a little bit of money.
Okay, but then where do you come down on this financially? Is this a good thing? Where are the risks?
It is like everything in life. It's a good thing until it's a bad thing.
In moderation.
Right? You want to do this in moderation. Look, when you talk to young people, Bank of America tracked this trend and found that young people do this more than anybody else, right? So you look at this, it's like 57% treat themselves weekly. That's way more than Gen X or millennials. 59% say they actually do overspend sometimes. That's when it gets to be a problem. When you're spending so much that it's like routine, it's not a treat anymore. And 33% of people buy things they don't need. So keep it small, keep it manageable.
Kind of depends on what it is.
Right.
So how can folks do it responsibly?
Well, make sure it's in your budget. You know, if you want to do one thing a week, that's good. I mean, mine would be a candle. I like a nice smell. In fact, these smell really good, Laura. You'd like these. I can tell you for sure you would like these candles. Make sure that you think small. You know, one of these women at Kantar, her name is Meredith Smith. She told us that you want to buy a slice of cake, not the whole cake. You know, think about it that way. Don't go overboard here. And think about long-lasting items, too, like a really good, you know, mug for work or water bottle for work or home decor. Home decor lasts a long time. So give yourself a little treat for the home decor. And that's something you can see over and over again. You don't consume it like the candy that Craig has already been
Something
eating.
you're going to use. Okay, so then what about getting a deal on your treat?
A lot of the same rules apply that you've heard me talk about for deals. You want to find discounts and coupons. You want to layer on your deals. Bank of America says make sure you have the right credit card and rewards points. You know, you want to be making sure you're paying yourself when you're buying something to feel good. Shop the store brands. I love store brands. They're often very, very cheap. Off-price retailers, you can get something good at Home Goods, TJ Maxx. You know the places where they have like the end caps stuff. But again, don't go overboard. Don't do it all the time. It's a treat if it's a treat, not if it's all the time, then it becomes a budget buster.
Multi-packs?
I like this, although maybe it's not as fun. But if you go to like Costco or the big warehouse retailers, you get a whole bunch of candles and split it with your friends. You know, you all have the good candles or the bulk size of the good face cream.
Because you don't really need 10 of them.
No, you don't.
Yes.
But
unless it's Craig's candles, then you do want them.
Yes.
And then also, and maybe this is a little boring, but the free museum night. That's cool. A free concert in the park. That can be a treat for yourself. That's something that's an experience instead of something that you have that gets clutter in your house.
It doesn't always have to be spending money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really quickly, though, this treatonomics trend that we're talking about, is this perhaps a canary in the coal mine? I mean, I know we're...
It sometimes can be. And look, I think there's a reason why so many young people do it more. And one reason is they've started paying their student loan bills again. Remember, there was a pause for 5 years. So suddenly there's a whole swath of the public that has $200 less a month than they did before, or even more in some cases. So that can be why. Also, the housing market. People have been shut out of the housing market. A little sweet treat is something that can help you feel better about things when you're like, you know, I'm not saving for a house, or I'm saving for a house, but I haven't been able to execute it. And we've also seen another part of this trend where people are spending less on luxury items and doing like something small at Ralph Lauren or Anthropologie. You've probably seen there's a lot of home decor and personal items at those places, smaller items. So instead of the big, fancy, expensive bag, you're getting something there.
Thank you, Christine. Also, my daughter usually watches around this time. I should let her know that while she does see a Labubu here,
it's not hers.
that Labubu is going home with Christine.
We have to return it.
That is not a Labubu that can be taken out of the
We source the Labubus from our friends and colleagues at NBC News who want them back.
You knew Sybil was going to text you like, hey, pick up that Labubu on the way.
No, can't have it.
Not for you.
Thank you, Christine. Let's treat ourselves to another check of Dylan's forecast.
The weather is kind of a treat for a lot of folks out there, especially across the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest. If you like that fall feel with pumpkin spice coming out tomorrow, it feels like it. Upper 60s, lower 70s in those areas. Out west, we have that monsoonal moisture. That flood risk is there because the rain could be really heavy at times. August heat across the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures running about 15 degrees above average. Highs in the 90s to lower 100s. And then down south, we do have that flood risk along the southern plains and also more heavy rain possible in parts of Florida, too. That's a look at the weather across the country. Now here's a peek out your window. And that's your latest forecast.
Did
you guys count the teeth on that little guy?
It
wasn't a Lufufu? I counted 8.
No,
is there 9?
Well, on one of them, the one I counted.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just going to count the teeth.
My daughter, by the way.
Got to make sure.
Eagle eye over here.
She's sexy. Oh, yeah. Wants the Labubu.
Sorry, Sibby.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, sweetie.
I love the green one. That's funny. And vibe. He really does. He's very Clark Kent-y.
Yeah.
You see that and you go, that's our
And
guy.
then the glasses, and you're like, all right.
They saw over 400 people. It's like, yeah, David's the guy. There he is. There's Superman. Next up, Saturday Night Live.
This is a happier ending.
It's not as fun as the other one, though. That other one's great. Finally, Jonas Brothers, a single. That's your pop star.
All right. Thank you, sir. Look who's here, guys. Matt. By the way, public service announcement, 1 week until Labor Day. And Pete Breen downstairs also just informed me 4 months until Christmas.
Oh, my God.
4 months.
Well, speaking of rushing the holidays, Halloween will be here before.
Some tennis royalty on the plaza. 5-time Grand Slam champion, the newly minted member of the International Tennis Hall of Fame, Maria Sharapova.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Bright and early.
Congratulations, Hall of Famer.
Thank you so much. That sounds so official.
Well, it is. I mean, you were one of the greatest of all time, and now officially enshrined as one of the greatest of all time. How did it feel being inducted?
What an honor. I feel like I'm still in this joyful bubble and I don't want it to burst, and I'm just happy to continue the celebrations with you this morning. What a crowd we have.
We have a great crowd. And you surprised everyone by having your one-time rival, but now friend, introduce you?
Yes, Serena was there. It was so special, so nice. It was a long time coming. Her code name was Madonna for a couple of months, which was very fun. And she's such a great sport. I'm just humbled that she joined me on stage and introduced me a true class act. And we've played so many tough matches against each other, so to share this memory after so many years was incredibly special.
Who do you like at the Open? Who you got your eye on?
Well, you're putting me on the spot.
I know.
This is supposed to be an easy interview.
Well, I'm just give us one. Give us one name.
I want Coco.
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 All right. Me and you both, Maria. Maria, thank you. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
We're going
Nice
to chat
see
more
everyone.
with Maria Sharapova in our third hour about the induction ceremony, your honor tonight at the U.S. Open. We're also going to talk about life after retirement as well.
It's going to be fun. All right, Dylan, what about a quick check of the weather?
Yeah, the weather looks great today. It looks great tonight, too. We are going to see just a couple of spotty showers across the northern New England area. Also, that monsoonal rain out in the southwest could bring some flooding. Below average temperatures are starting to work into the Midwest, but that taste of fall won't spread eastward until the middle of the week when we drop back down into the 70s. Still that flood risk out west with the monsoonal moisture sticking around. Still warm in the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures are going to stay well above average until we get towards the end of the week. Well, they'll drop back down into the 70s and 80s. Rainy and cool down in the southeast as we finish off this week, and some more showers down through Florida. But it looks good in the northeast. Highs in the 70s and 80s. That's a look at the weather across the country. Now here's a peek out your window. And that's your latest forecast, Craig.
And thank you. We are back now, 8:48, with a really special milestone. A TV show called Minnesota Bound has now been on the air on our NBC affiliate, KARE, KARE 11, for 30 years.
Wow, and in that time, it's attracted a large and loyal audience, and its appeal even transcends species.
So our own Minnesota native Joe Fryer traveled home for a look behind the scenes. Hey, Joe. I didn't grow up with that show. It looked cool.
Minnesota Institution.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you,
hometown Joe. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, we are back in just a moment. This is Today on NBC.
Oh, Oh, but wait, there's more. Third hour coming up. Live performance from country star Brian Kelly, a Florida Georgia Line fan.
Then later on Jenna and Friends, we're talking about SNL this morning. We've got a couple of SNL greats, Kenan Thompson and Bo and Yang. They're going to battle it out in a game of prompter war.
I put my money on Kenan.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I'll take Bowen.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you're on.
$5.
Done.
But first, your local news and weather.
Just feels like Kenan's probably